I'm Aki. Today I'm going to introduce the sound and light waves. First, I'm going to introduce the basic concept of the sound waves and the basic concept of the light waves and the three technological devices. Also going to explain the vocabularies. Sound is an energy transfer waves. Sound is a vibration and it's a longitudinal waves. The speed of the sound is in a gas depends on the temperature of the gas and the mass of the particles in the gas. The speed of the sound in a material depends on the material's elasticities. Also, sound needs the media to transmit the sound. Sound travels in solids, liquids, and gases. If there is no media, it cannot be transferred. Pitch. We describe our subjective impressions about the frequency of the sound by the word pitch. If the frequency is lower, it have the lower pitch. If the frequency is higher, it have the higher pitch. And infrasonic is the sound below the 20 hertz, and ultrasonic is the sound above the 20,000 hertz. Sound intensity is objective and is measured by instruments. Loudness, on the other hand, is a physiological sensation sensed in the brain. And the violin and the saxophone, we heard a different sound because they have the different natural frequencies, and each object vibrates at its own special set of frequencies. Forced vibration occurs when an object is made to vibrate by another vibrating object that is nearby. Resonance is a phenomenon that occurs when the frequencies of the vibration forced on an object match the object's natural frequencies, and a dramatic increase in amplitude occurs. Interference. There have two kinds of interference, destructive and constructive. When the destructive interference happens, the sound will become lower or no sound. When the constructive interference happens, we will hear a louder sound. Beats. When two tones of slightly different frequencies are sound together, a regular fluctuation in the loudness of the combined sound is heard. The sound is loud and then faint, and then loud and then faint, and so on. This periodical variation in the loudness of the sound is called beats. Introduce the basic concept of the light and explain each of the vocabularies. Photons. Photons are the massless bottles of concentrated electromagnetic energies. And now scientists now agree that light has a dual nature, part particles and part wave. The speed of the light is about 300,000 kilometers per second, and the distance light travels in 1 year is called a light year. And the next one is the electromagnetic waves. Light is energy that is emitted by accelerating electron charges, often electrons in atoms. This energy travels in a wave that is partly electric and partly magnetic. Such a wave is an electromagnetic wave. And the range of the electromagnetic wave is the electromagnetic spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum consists of radio waves, microwaves, infrared light, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and gamma rays. Electromagnetic waves are frequencies lower than the red of the visible light are called the infrared. And the infrared is always used to find the motions of the peoples. And electromagnetic waves of the frequencies which are higher than the violet are called the ultraviolet, and ultraviolet is always used to destroy the disease. The material that transmit light are called the transparent, and the translucent is the material that transmits part of the light, and the material that absorb light without emissions, and those allowed no light through them are opaque. Ray is a thin beam of light, is always called a ray, and a shadow is formed where the light rays cannot reach. And there are two types of shadows. A total shadow is called an umbra, and a partial shadow is called a penumbra. Polarization means, first, the light travels in waves. The fact that the waves are transverse and not longitudinal is demonstrated by the phenomena of the polarizations. Medical imaging always use the ultrasound, but not the other lights like the X-rays. X-rays also can produce the imaging of the inside your body, but X-rays has too much exposures to radiation is also very bad to our health. So people use the ultrasounds. Let's say there's a transducers near the body, and the transducer sends out a pulse, and the pulse when it's going and it touches on the tissues, and it will reflect back to the transducers, and the transducers always timing the time
so you can easily know when it reflects back, and they already know the speed of the ultrasound, so they can actually know the distance and imaging the whole picture of the tissues inside the body and the pose. Keep going. That is another side of the tissues, and one pose can reflect 2 times. Can actually know the size of the tissues, and keep going. And when it touches on the another tissues, it reflects back again, and keep going. Touches on another side of the tissues, also reflects back. And during that, they can actually know the each of the reflex time in the transducers. And transducer not only send one pulse, they will send many pulses. And you can have the total image of the tissues inside the body, and they get all the reflex back to the transducers, and the transducers can create a whole image of the tissues inside your body. That's the reason, and that's the whole
The reason why
ultrasound
people
works
using
in
the
medical
ultrasound
images.
is the ultrasounds have the high frequencies and have the low wavelengths, and because of that, and because the speed doesn't change, so they have the less diffractions, and the diffractions is the enemy of making the clearer pictures. Every day, sunlight will stream down onto your solar panels with photons, which are particles of sunlight. Then, the solar panels convert those photons into electrons of electricity using the photovoltaic cell technologies. The amount of electricity generated depends on the intensity of the sun, but even on cloudy days, your solar panels will still absorb the sunlight and generate your energy. Once the energy is transferred from the sun, it flows from the solar panels to an inverter that converts the raw electricity into ready-to-use electricity for your home. You don't have to do anything. What's even better, solar electric systems can produce more electricity than your home needs, and the electricity you do not use goes back to utility grid. This is called net metering, and you will be able to enjoy watching your utility meter spin backwards. Then at night or on cloudy days, when your solar system is not producing enough energy for your home, you will be able to draw power down from the grid, so you never have to worry about running out of electricity. And if you are producing more energy than your household requires, then you will get a credit from the utility company. When you type the message in your phone and you type the sound, your phones actually can create its own electromagnetic waves, including the ebbs and flows in the electromagnetic fields in the surroundings, and your nearest cell tower will receive those those waves by its antennas on the top of its cell towers, and those cell towers will send the message through the under the seas or even the submarines through thousands of kilometers away to your friend's place, and your friend's nearest cell towers will receive the message, and it will send out the message through its antennas, and the electromagnetic waves will pass through the air to reach your friend's phones, and your friends will receive a high.